Hello, hello, hello. Back again. I am. We have some really interesting content to go over today. Rhinoceros success. So that's what this month's book club is all about. I'm feeling very pregnant and very tired, but we're gonna make it through this because this is it's a wild kind of read, and it's an interesting approach to looking at success and kind of amping yourself up for that personal and professional development. So I think we'll have fun. We'll do the show, guys. So a couple of seconds, just wanted to get on here. If you are having a good day, please put that in the comments. If you are having a challenging day, please put that in the comments. I want to be here to help and serve all that tune into the program. So with that, it's time. Let's get started. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm excited to be here. We're going to be doing this month's book club, Rhinoceros Success. Are you a rhino? I don't know. My stomach is doing all sorts of fun things because I'm preggers, guys. Woohoo, third trimester, last trimester. Oh my goodness. My son will be here in June. We are excited. I think he's growing. I'm feeling extremely uncomfortable right now. So I'm hoping that's a sign of growth and prosperity, but bear with me. It's going to be a doozy, guys. Okay, so with that, let's get into the deck. I want to make sure that we have time to get through everything. We are going to first talk a little bit about me. If you don't already know me, again, Natasha Nurse. I do a lot. I'm very Jamaican. I am a coach. I am a speaker. I'm a content creator. My life motto is to learn something new and meet someone new every single day, which I'm able to do through programs like this, through the internet, right? I definitely am a fan of social media. I would say it's kind of like a third leg for me. It's definitely something that I love to be a part of. It's a great way for me to escape. It's a great way for me to learn. It's a great way for me to be able to connect with others. And I love it. I've loved Facebook since it came out when I was in college, and I probably will forever love it. We shall see, but many, many years ahead of me. But if you are not aware of who I am or my platform, just go to dressingroom8.com, and I'll give that at the end of the program as well. But that's a little bit about me. Enough about me. What are we going to do today? So book club agenda. First, I like to, for every book that we cover for this month, again, Rhinoceros Success, I like to first just go over the summary. Typically, I just pull the one from Amazon and we just kind of go through that and then go through highlight sections, because that's where you get to hear the language, right? A lot of times it's not clear whether you should buy a book or not, because maybe you haven't gotten the opportunity to go into like a Barnes and Noble and like flip through the pages and see, is this something you want to read? So these are really great 30-minute sessions for you to be able to learn a little bit about a book, decide if this is something that you want to read. If you have already read it, then you can join the conversation and share your thoughts. And then you hear my recommendation. And of course, if I take the time to probably pick a book, create a deck, do a live stream about it on multiple platforms, most likely I'm recommending it. But, there have been times where I'm like, but, most of the time it's a yes. And then what comes next? Okay. So if that is clear, make sure, again, if you have comments, put them in the comments so that I can see the book summary for now, right? So this is on Amazon. This book, as well as this link, you can access it through my website, dressingroom8.com. goes through the following. Success is difficult, but tomorrow morning you could wake up as a full-grown rhinoceros and charge your way to success. Use audacity to reach your goals. Be happier than you've ever been before. Interesting. Make your life an exciting adventure. Yes. Have the persistence and tenacity necessary for success. Never worry again. How many people would love to do that? Succeed at the world's most profitable hobby. Interesting. Achieve more and have a better balance in the 6 major areas of your life: financial, work, physical, family, social, and spiritual. Yes, that definitely, this book speaks a little bit into religion, a little bit about God, which actually surprised me, because not to say that I don't see the connection between spirituality or religion and success, but I would say most of the books that I read about success are, I guess, non-secular in nature. And so if you are talking about or combining the concept of how to be successful and then kind of spirituality attached to that, that to me is an interesting connection. I usually capture that content through like evangelist type of content that I consume, but typically I haven't seen them like cross over like that. So that kind of shocked me about the book. But if you are for that, then that won't offend you. If that's something that you are not for, then that might be something that you have kind of issues with the book. So just things to keep in mind. A little bit goes on in the summary to say, Scott Alexander, the author of this book, has discovered the real secret of success: becoming a rhinoceros. Yes. Read Rhinoceros Success and go rhino. That's all there is between you and everything you've ever wanted to do or become in your life. Charge. I feel like my son is a rhinoceros in my belly right now. So yeah, yes to all of that. Let's get through this. Okay, so now let's get into the highlight sections. I don't necessarily see any comments that I need to address right now, but if you have any, please put them in. I'm here on Facebook. I'm here on YouTube. I'm here on where am I? Periscope. I'm here on Twitter, right? Like all different places just for y'all. So first out of the gate, I thought this was a really fun little snippet. And also just so you can see, the author has illustrations in the book. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but that is a rhinoceros. It's a very interesting approach to drawing a rhinoceros. Now to the first section, Charging Mad, page 5. The first order of your day as a rhino is to charge. Hopefully you have something to charge at. You must have some goals that will add purpose to your life as a rhinoceros. If you've been getting up every morning to work all day just to buy yucca bushes for dinner and pay the rent, then it is time to get mad. It is time to get disgusted. It is time to say, I have had enough of being a lazy cow grazing in the pasture day after day. I'm fed up with doing nothing, seeing nothing, and accomplishing nothing. I woke up this morning as a rhinoceros. I'm going to sacrifice the security and complacency of the pasture and live a rhinoceros life of excitement and adventure in the jungle. I'm going to be a rich rhino. Get mad. Who's going to argue with an irritable, disgusted, angry, 3-ton rhinoceros? You will get what you want. Just charge after it. Vow never to go back to that pasture again. Forget your lazy cow buddies. Get out and meet new rhinoceros friends. Charge. So in that, in that section, what is Scott Alexander, the author of this book, doing? He's doing a comparison between saying that if you are a person who thrives to have success in your life, then you would see yourself, you would behave as if you were a rhinoceros. And for those who are not willing to commit to that standard of life, then you are a cow in a pasture. And so, you know, is he implying that cows are lazy or not as ambitious as a rhino? I believe that would be a fair enough statement to say in this context. We're not going to go into the conversation between the actual animal dichotomy there. But what I would say is I, as a person who started my day at 5 a.m. on a Saturday to you know, start with meetings and to start with work and to push through as a pregnant person, I 100% agree that if you want anything in this world that is meaningful, that you would define as a part of your mission as to what you want to do in this world, it is going to require the most amount of effort. I could tell you that I work hard. I work hard as a person and I work harder as a pregnant person, and it doesn't stop. And you have to go and charge after your dreams. You have to work hard, and success is not something that is just going to, I'm going to work for Tuesday and then Wednesday it's going to happen, right? This is the long haul. So when you charge as that rhino, as what he's talking about in this book, it means the long haul. Sometimes it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 30 years. Everyone's run rate is different. So I would just recommend that if you're determined, if you are willing to have the tenacity to go after your dreams, do it, but understand that this is not an immediate turnaround. But absolutely, do you have to be like full on charge mode? 100%. I would agree with that sentence. Now, next section that I thought was interesting that he included was charge with singleness of purpose. A rhinoceros charges with singleness of purpose. All energy is directed toward the attainment of one burning desire. The reason you are so dangerous is that once you set yourself charging at something, nothing can distract you. And you never charge two things at once. You can concentrate on getting your first target and then fix your concentration on your next goal. Never spread yourself thin. A magnifying glass will not start a fire until it remains in one spot continuously for a certain length of time. If it is constantly moved from spot to spot, nothing will get warmed up, much less start a fire. You understand this magnifying glass principle and apply it to your daily life. You keep charging despite the difficulties because you can never tell when the flame will spark. It could be tomorrow or it could be next month, but you know that if you concentrate all your energy, you will eventually have a roaring blaze. Then you can go and start your next fire. I actually really like this section because I thought that this was a really good reminder, because as a person who does a lot, it is important, though, to his point, that you focus and you hone your energy on one thing at a time. A lot of times in life, right, whether it's at our jobs or it's in our businesses or in our family lives or personal life, you feel kind of like you are being stretched across multiple mediums or multiple spaces at once. However, for you to be effective, you do have to charge with a singleness of purpose, right? So for instance, if you have it's like a Thursday evening, you got to make dinner for the kids and the hubby or your partner or whatever, then you have to also do homework with kiddies. You also need to work on your business, and maybe you still have something in your day job responsibilities. Can you do all of those things at once and be effective? No, you can't. So you have to tackle them one at a time, right? So if you're saying, okay, we're going to do a lasagna first, let me put the lasagna in the oven, 350 or whatever. I'm not the baker. Hubby does that. Don't ask me to figure out that. I could fry you some chicken though. and you do that, right? And then while that's baking, what could you do? You could set the kids up to get ready to figure out, okay, what are the homework assignments? What do we have to cover today? What are the things that they have done versus what they haven't done? Get them reading, get them starting talking on that. Okay, check in with the partner. Hey, how was your day? Need a beer, need a drink, right? Okay. And you take it one task at a time and you handle one fire at a time. So I thought that was just a really excellent reminder as to how to be effective doing multiple things, but with a singular of purpose. So if that makes sense to you, please hold on to that as you're going through on your daily life journey, because I thought for me, it was just a good reminder, because sometimes I do feel like I want to do multiple things and then you just kind of don't do things all at the level of success or the level of standard of excellency that you want. And for me, being excellent is not like optional, it's completely mandatory. There's like no other path for me. So that's where I stand on that. That's the level of rhinoceros status I achieve. Page 13, rhinos are naturally high. Rhinoceroses have a natural zeal for living. They are so high on life that rhinos rarely have a drug or drinking problem. Rhinos don't need an artificial stimulant because they produce it themselves naturally. Research supports this. Biochemists have discovered the existence of endorphins, a morphine-like substance secreted by the brain. Anthropologist Lionel Tiger tells us that these natural opiates depress pain and seem to expand our awareness of pleasure. Scientists have found that jogging seems to bring on the secretion of endorphins, which explain why charging rhinoceroses feel so good about life. Their brains are literally flooded with antidepressants. So keep believing, keep charging. Imagine yourself reaching your goals. You know you can do it because you are a rhinoceros. Your enthusiasm will keep you charging. Charge, charge, charge. If your enthusiasm seems to wear down, you will know what happened. Your belief has waned. Keep believing in yourself. You have to. No one else can do it for you. It has to come from inside of you. Believe and succeed. I love that, because I, as a coach, will 100% tell you that half the battle in achieving anything in your life, in your career, in your personal endeavors is just believing that you can do it. No one can believe that for you. Unfortunately, you have to kind of promulgate that from within. And if you can get past all the reasons why something could fail and all the reasons why people are not supporting you and and if you can just hone in on the singular idea that you are on this earth for a purpose that is set and defined by you, and that you are the only one who can achieve your dream and your fantasies, then nothing, no one, no circumstance can stand in your way. Right. And so that's just like a really powerful statement and belief. And it's just something you have to hold in your heart and in your mind. And so even when we're having those bad days, even when we're struggling, right, we have to still say, hey, there's only me. There's only you. only you. And there's only your purpose, and only you can actualize this. And how amazing and how fantastic of an opportunity it is for you to wake up and do something towards getting closer to that goal or those goals, right? And hell or high water is going to happen. Hell or high water. And guess what? It doesn't have to happen on a specific timeline. It doesn't have to happen in a specific way, but it's going to happen, hell or high water. And so you have that determination, you have that rhino, right? This concept of like charge, I won't stop, can't be stopped, won't ever be stopped, will and only can succeed, right? Like that kind of anthem for your life. Imagine if you took that perspective and you lived that truth every single day. How different would today be? How different would tomorrow be? Right. So I found this book. I mean, it's like, okay, so it's written in a really ridiculous way, right? Like, are you a rhinoceros? Of course not. But is it easier for you to become the person you need to be by actualizing this imaginatory animal and just seeing yourself charge ahead? Because I find that most people are limited because of their own mental blocks. All the reasons why you can't do something, all the reasons why you don't know if you can do something, limitation upon limitation upon limitation, just building blocks in your mind, preventing you from just charging ahead. So if you cut all that crap out, and if you move like you are an unstoppable force, like a 3-ton rhinoceros, how much closer would you be to your goals? What couldn't you achieve, right? Nothing. There would be nothing standing in the way. So just food for thought, guys. Next, page 21. I love this. I love this. I love this. Read good books. You also tend to become what you feed your mind. If you eat dirt and garbage 3 times a day, your body soon shows it. It is the same way with feeding your mind. Garbage in and garbage out. Be particular about what you read. Ask yourself, will the information in this book help me reach my goals? If it won't, why waste your time? Read positive, stimulating rhinoceros books. Did you know that there are books written by the wealthiest rhinos in the world telling how they got rich? The lazy cows don't read them, and they can read. Learn to use OAE, other animals' experiences. Today's success is easier for those who go after it because there is so much help available. Start building your own success library. You will gather profitable ideas from reading, and they will keep you in a charging mood. It doesn't matter if you don't have the time or inclination to take classes. There are CDs and internet sites dealing with every subject conceivable. You can literally go to college through the computer, but take the advice of Jim Rohn, who says, don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action. In other words, charge. Love that. 100%, right? Why did I start my book club? I started the Dress Your Mate book club because I wanted to encourage people to read. I think it's disastrous that I speak to people way too often who tell me they hate reading or they don't have time to read. And I'm like, you don't have time to grow or evolve? That's really fascinating. Interesting. Tell me how that works out for you in the end, right? Like I like have to really cut myself off from shaming myself for not reading enough. Because reading puts me in like a really happy mental place. I feel like I'm escaping to another land of beauty and wonder, whether I'm reading a professional development book or I'm reading Lord of the Rings or something. Like I love reading. It's just one of my most favorite activities. And for me, I love the statement about don't just read for knowledge, but read for action and charge, right? And that's really the purpose of a book, because it is fascinating when you speak to people and you're like, hey, have you gone over this concept or have you read this book? Yes. And you see in their life that they're not executing. They're not executing on the principles that they've learned. And it's really challenging, right? If you're taking the time and the energy towards putting in this approach to life where you are consuming content, you're consuming books, good books even, and then you're not applying it, then what's the purpose, right? There's a disconnect there. So just like any other book, I would definitely say, hey, look at Rhinoceros Success. We were at Savers, me and my hubby, and I picked this book up because I was like, well, I love rhinoceroses, and this cover is gorge. And I was like, what's this about? And also it was a short read. I love a good short book. Yes, thank you. And I think it's ridiculous to have books that are over 300 pages. It's absurd. And I was all about it. And I said, can this help me learn how to be even more stronger of an executor, even more closely developed person who's aligned with my mission and my goals and my purpose, and refuses, because again, we all deal with insecurity, we all deal with doubt, right? I could never talk about the subject if it wasn't something that I personally have dealt with in my life, right? So it's something that plagues us all. It's just a part of the human experience. But every day it's an opportunity to get a little bit better, just a smidge, right? Fine tune, fine tune, fine tune. So is this book going to help you do that? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, it's going to do that. Now, page 36. We're making good time, guys. So this is good. I really like this. Are there any comments? Nothing as of right now. So if you have any questions, y'all know I'm not shy. Don't play games with me. So there's another really crazy picture of a rhino. This book is really funny. Page 36, never lose your sense of humor. Learn to laugh at yourself. It is really easy. Have you ever seen a 3-ton rhinoceros filling out an income tax form? Does that make you chuckle? Did I see a little smile there? Well, you can let out a really big guffaw, because you will be doing just that at the end of this year. I can see you now. You big rhinoceros, you sitting at the kitchen table with perspiration dripping off your horns and your hot, muggy breath curling the tax forms. That's a little bit different, but I really love that, because I tell my hubby all the time that I tickle myself all the time, not in that sense, but like, because I make myself laugh because I personally enjoy laughter. I think it is one of the most brilliant ways to use your time. It releases tension and it makes you feel grateful for life. And for me, I feel more alive when I'm having a good time, when I'm smiling, when I'm laughing. And I was, there were a lot of times as a child where I was really sad. And so I'm just grateful as an adult to be able to have more autonomy in my life and to be able to curtail who I spend time with and what I spend time doing in a way that maybe children don't necessarily have that much freedom or autonomy. And so you're an adult, you're in control of your life. You're that big rhinoceros, beautiful person you are. Go ahead and have a good time, right? Go ahead and laugh by the water hole. Go ahead and watch Lion King 1,000 times if it makes you happy. Go ahead and watch Bridgerton, right? Like, go ahead and read a good book. You can do whatever you want in this world. So why wouldn't you want to spend time laughing? Why wouldn't you want to have a good sense of humor, right? So it's just, for me, I think that just spoke to me personally. And so I wanted to bring that to your attention, to just say, hey, like, at the end of the day, having a good time is a part of that successful life that you want for yourself. Now, page 58. I like talking about money because it's the color of green, great green money. I like green. It's fantastic. And money is a really wonderful way to be able to afford the lifestyle that you want for yourself, to be able to create generational wealth, to be able to do good in this world. And, I really struggle with anyone who's like, I don't need money. Money doesn't really do anything for me. Because I'm just like, well, money money can be, it's a tool, right? So you can wield it for good or you can wield it for evil. And so I think that if you have a lot of it, it just means you can just wield it in multiple fashions and for multiple purposes. So I'm all about the money and the money building, guys. Page 58, make happy money. Money can buy happiness. That's why money is so valuable. What else would you want to buy it with? Unhappiness? No matter how much or how little money you have, it can always buy happiness. Whether it's paying cash for your 12-room beach house in Hawaii or paying last month's rent on your apartment to keep from being evicted. If money can't buy happiness, why is everyone trying to get it? Poverty cannot buy happiness. Stay away from that. What about the animals with so much money they could never use it all, yet they are miserable? These are the animals who have made money for their God. Money can buy happiness, but it makes a poor savior. Consider the billionaires who have ended their own lives. Be careful you do not get stuck on this route. The best way to make happy money is to make money your hobby and not your God. I love that. So I'm going to say that one more time. The best way to make happy money is to make money your hobby and not your God. So what is he saying there? So ultimately, he's suggesting that A, money is not a bad thing, right? And then B, if you want money to be a positive addition to your life, it is a hobby, right? It is something you enjoy doing. It's something you enjoy achieving and getting more of, not something that you worship. Because the minute it becomes to that level of status, then you are a slave to it, right? And that you would what? You would compromise your morals. You would compromise who you are as a person for money. That's illogical because money is a creation of man. So it's an artificial system, right? It doesn't exist outside of the concept of our society, right? And so it's not like it's just, oh, it's on the ground. No, money is made by a human being. So we could never worship it. It could never be our God, but it could be a fun hobby. It could be very exciting and very fun to make more of it and to earn it. But it can't be the dominion of your life, the domination of your thought. No. Happiness. Happiness has to dominate your mind, your space, your spirit, your soul, because happiness will bring forth things like money. It'll bring forth people that bring you joy. It will bring forth circumstances that you celebrate and thrive in. But money is a hobby. It's a part of the policy. It's not the top of it's not the entire structure itself. So if you are on board with that, then I think you will enjoy that passage as well. And I really like that he made that distinction for people. Hobby, not God, right? Like, yeah, that makes sense. Now, last section before we go on is on page 90. This one might surprise you. Problems are a good sign. First of all, you understand that most problems are a good sign. Problems indicate that progress is being made. Wheels are turning and you're moving toward your goals. Beware when you do not have problems, then you've really got a problem. Not having problems means no action is being taken. No action means you are coasting, and coasting means you're going downhill. If you don't have any problems, double check where you are. You could be on the way to nowhere. Rhinoceroses are constantly advancing. Problems are landmarks of progress. Let me read that one more time for you. Problems are landmarks of progress. Pass enough problems and you will reach your destination. So expect problems and they won't surprise you when they pop up. Then go to work on them like a rhinoceros. What is he saying there? So in our minds, right, I think contextually we look at good and bad and what do we favor? We would favor good over bad, right? But what if we change, like we kind of flip that on its head and we say, okay, there's not good or bad, but it's just contrast. So outcomes that we enjoy more versus outcomes we don't enjoy. And so where do problems lie? As much as we mentally would want to put them in the category of the outcome that I don't enjoy, which means what? I would try to avoid that. He's suggesting the opposite, that as we're pursuing our goals, as we're pursuing and trying to make initiatives happen in our life, career, personal, romantic, whatever, ultimately, if we don't have problems in that outcome that we are looking to anticipate, then that we're not growing, that we're not evolving, that we're not really making headway, that we're not having milestones. And that's a different way of looking at problems, right? Because typically it's, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to fail. I don't want to struggle. But what if that struggle makes you succeed even more? What if that struggle shows you how to expand what you're trying to do in a whole new way? Then it's not so bad, right? Then it's kind of cool. Then it's kind of interesting. Then you're kind of excited to say, well, hey, what kind of problem can I solve today? Right. And so we ante up and then we go into that rhino mode and we're like, let's go. Try me. Try me. Right. And so I really like that because it was like, again, it's a little bit of just changing that mindset because again, when we're working on our goals, whether it's your career, whether it's your business, whether it is how do I date better, like whatever the arena is, it doesn't really matter. It's about the mindset we put towards things. I was just saying that this morning, that in life, we can't control outcomes, right? As much as we'd love to, and I love control. Like if you know me, you know, control freak. I love to know every second, every minute. I'm just, even with the baby, I'm like, so when will I know he's coming? Like, can I say 6:06 a.m.? Like, what are we suggesting? And everyone's like, try again. Just be open to the experience. And I'm like, right? Like, it just blows my mind because I love control. I love knowing everything that's going to happen and making things happen. However, motherhood, pregnancy is teaching me release. And I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. I'm a lot better than I used to be in my life. But with this, right, problems, we always, same as most people, I would always say, oh, try to avoid them. Oh, I don't want to struggle. Oh, I don't want to fail. Now, what is the approach that he's suggesting that we think about and really execute on? Yes, give it to me because it's a milestone. Because if I can overcome it, then I've learned something from that. Then I can I can take that learning and I can apply it and I can succeed more. I can rhino the hell out of things. That's what he's talking about here. So those are the different sections of the book. Again, Rhinoceros Success. If you go to dressingroom8.com, you can pick up your copy today. At the end of this, I will put a recap blog post. I'll make that available for you today so you can rewatch this video because you're like, yes, Tosh, you talking about rhinos does it for me. That's what I'm here to do, guys. That's what I'm trying to do, guys. So if you're into it, which I know you're into it, man. So it'll be a good time, okay? Recommendation. Of course I recommend this book. Are you freaking kidding me? Just like the cover alone makes me want to pick up this book. It's gorgeous. So love it. But no, really the content of it. Those highlight sections, I don't know if you found them to be compelling, but personally, like I said, I started this program feeling very uncomfortable. He's like doing stuff. I think he's growing or something. And so I kind of feel like I'm a trapped in my own body kind of situation right now. But I just feel very motivated from this conversation. I feel really kind of inspired and just like, yes, like, what am I going to go rhino today? Like, I'm going to go make sure I have a really good day and I, have a wonderful time with people that matter a lot to me. So, just gonna do that. I'm gonna rhino today. So I hope you rhino today, and I hope you pick up the copy at dressingroom8.com. And what's next? So typically, I would show you a copy of the next book that we're going to cover next month. But as I said, preggers, right? And we're getting closer and closer to the due date. And so what I'm going to be doing between now and when I pop, which we will see when that happens, June 25th, we will see when he makes his appearance. Ultimately, I am going to, be taking some time to really enjoy motherhood and embrace this next chapter of my life. I've, never done this before, so I don't know how easy or how challenging and the learnings that will come from it. But I'm excited because, again, what can we do? I can't control the outcomes, but I can control my mindset. I can control my attitude towards this. And I'm excited to really build and continue to build this bond with this little person growing inside of me, and to just enjoy all the wonderful moments, all the tiring and the awkward moments. And so will things be still happening on social? Of course, I'm still going to be posting. So what I'm going to do is, even though I'm not going to do a book club for like next month or the following month, but I'll probably be able to come back on here maybe in the fall, and then we'll, take it up. But will you miss out on me from then? No, of course not, because I'm going to post monthly books that you still should pick up and read. I'm going to still be putting out social media content, and like what I'm doing with through motherhood, I encourage you to keep learning and growing. Please, please, please be present. Please, please, please rhino the hell out of your life, rhino the hell out of your day, and keep doing whatever you want to do, because it's your life. You're only here once. So it's really going to be a shame if you don't make the most of it and you don't do what you want to do. So with that, let's get you to the next slide. If you need to reach me, obviously, like I said, doing the mom thing, but I'm totally here, going to be posting content because I'm obsessed with the internet. I'm obsessed with connecting with people and giving them, the support and motivation and inspiration they need to live their best authentic lives. So email Natasha@dressingroom8.com. That's my phone number. That's the website. Get a copy of the book today. This is the book pick of the month. In May, you'll be able to see what the next book is that I'll be reading, because just because I'm having a baby does not mean the reading stops, guys, right? We rhino, we amp up. We don't slow down here. We amp it up, because that's how we do here. That's just what we're about. Okay. So with that, again, get a copy of the book, dressingroom8.com. Super excited for everyone who tuned in today. We are pretty much at that time, right? So thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Check out the recap post on dressingroom8.com for the blog. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. All right, guys, it's been fun. I will see you soon. Bye.